Yeah.
Take questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, SG. SABC, Al Jazeera, I love that. Al Jazeera, CCTV, Russia TV. Okay. Start with SABC. Very important.
Okay. My name is Muntlegan from SABC. SG, can we just clarify this issue of Northwest? Because we are told that, the number of branches have ballooned from 200 and something to 200 and something this time around. We are told that the numbers of of delegates coming from the Northwest has ballooned as a result of this, devious branches. What does this Bujanala, what does this ruling of mean about Bujanala? Does it mean that those branches will now be nullified, or will they be allowed to come to this conference?
Al Jazeera.
SG, are you confident that the candidate that wins will unify the ANC? And do you
No. Please don't use it. I think there's something wrong with the system. It's either you bring it closer or...
SG, do you expect that the winner, the leader, the one who becomes ultimately the new president of the ANC, will unify the party? And do you...
I don't hear that.
Can you speak without
Take it out. Speak without it. It went down further.
No, we expected the new party leader to unify the ANC.
Come closer.
Hopefully, they will work.
You must not be. I don't want you to be interpreted. I want to hear you from you.
Do you expect that the new president of the ANC is going to unify the party?
I can't hear you.
The new leader.
Will unify the party.
And,
Will the new leader of the ANC unify the party?
And then my second question is, everyone is going to accept whatever outcome will be, despite all of these different court challenges?
Will everyone accept the outcomes of the conference? Thank you, Al Jazeera. Russia TV, France 24, German TV. Yes, German TV. Yan.
It's me or... Okay, me or him?
Him.
Sorry, can you, I was late and apologies if this was covered already before I came, but the decision of the NEC yesterday, will you be able to complete the counting by Sunday and announce the results on Sunday? After the decision that the top 6 will be elected in one go. It's a lot of votes.
The question is, when can we expect the results? Last question.
This TV Mozambique is not a Russian TV. TV Mozambique, just the border, across the border.
It's on the way to Russia.
No. It's Mozambique, TV Mozambique. Thank you. 2 questions. One is, how many foreign delegations have confirmed participation in this ANC conference? We understand that Mozambique is sending a powerful delegation led by the former Prime Minister and a member of the Politburo, that we call their commission, political commission. The second question is, would you help journalists who are still stranded and they are not getting accreditation to get their accreditation? There are journalists who have been waiting for accreditation for 3 days now.
You can discuss that.
You can take that offline. That's not a matter of a press conference.
Thank you.
Accreditation of journalists does not belong here. I take your first question include diplomats and sister former liberation movements. Okay.
Can I go?
Yes.
I don't understand this balloon of membership. I know a balloon, you blow it, it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and passes. So I don't understand the concept of membership ballooning. It's a strange concept. Membership is recruited and joined in one by one. So there can be no ballooning. In as far as Bujanala is concerned, the regional conference is nullified at the court. That's it. And regions have no voting power in the conference by the way. We have given them 2 observers. Every region is given 2 observers. So it has no material impact on the conference itself. The only thing that may have an impact is the 20-something branches whose BGMs have been talked about in the judgment. But still, as I said, we had BGMs for the regional conference, which was held in September. We had from end of September to mid-November, towards the end of November, BGMs for the national conference, which was a separate exercise. So what we are going to be looking at, if, for example, the judgment says those delegates should not participate in any other activity of the organization, that is the only basis that we'll appeal judgment on, because you can't give a judgment on a conference and ban ANC members from participating in their political party, which they are voluntarily joining. We think that on that one, the judges misled us. That one we're going to challenge. But in terms of nullifying the regional conference, we'll comply with that, we'll reorganize a new conference, elect a new REC. Delegates to the national conference, which were in a different process, we don't think can be impacted by the judgment. Banning any ANC members from participating in other activities is actually judicial overreach. We'll not accept it. We'll appeal it. Will the new leadership unify the party? You should have been here yesterday. That is the simple thing we said. We say, we're hoping to come out of this conference unified. It's not a magic of the individual. It's a function of engagement in the conference itself, try to unify the body of the ANC. Because the unity is not the unity of leaders, it's the unity of the body of the ANC. That is what we're investing in. And the conference result has been a theme for some time now, including in the last supper of the president, and the 7 hopefuls at the time was about every one of them committing to accept the outcomes of the conference. So our view is that they will have to accept the result of conference. When will the result be announced? There will be nominations from the floor tomorrow, and actually beginning of the vote for the officials of the ANC. And those results will be announced on Sunday. After they are announced on Sunday, then we can proceed to the election of the NSA. So what is going to happen? How many foreign delegates? There are many. We've invited all the liberation movements. Okay, all of them are invited. We invited all parties that are friendly to us. Okay, Nordic, Social Democrats, everybody. We've invited all those parties. We invited a big contingent of diplomats. So there is no shortage of foreign representation in the conference. But what is important is that it is an ANC conference. You know, I love the CCP's policy. The Communist Party, the China Communist Party. China Communist Party, nobody is invited to their conference. It's a closed session for 7 days. It's the conference of the CCP for 7 days. I think it's the right approach because it gives the party space to engage and debate and develop policies on its own. Okay.
That is why we invited you as guests. Let me take the last round. Where is my mic? Right at the back. Say.
My name is Clive Ndo from the Witness newspaper.
From?
The Witness. The Witness. My question is around the Mpumalanga province unity nominations. What resolution has been taken around that? Thank you.
Samkele?
Thank you, Zizi. SG, the ANC is involved in a lot of court litigations today. We're expecting the KwaZulu-Natal judgment on the PEC at 11:30. Then there is the Free State later on today in the afternoon at 2. Do you think that it's going to be a bad day for the ANC in courts today, where you preempt that you may be losing a whole lot of cases? You've already lost the one in Bujanala this morning. And does this not cast any black cloud over the credentials issue for the national conference starting this Saturday? And do you anticipate that the credentials will be debated heavily by those who are disputing certain branches from being part of this conference? And lastly, in the Mail and Guardian, we saw a report that there are allegations of about 300 bogus delegates who will barge into the conference. Do you anticipate any disruptions that may take place today? Thank you.
Delegates to barge what?
The conference, 300 delegates, it is in the Mail and Guardian.
To do what?
To barge. They are not going to do that.
Okay. It does appear the court may have ruled in KZN to nullify the PEC, so you probably would have to get your own confirmation in that regard. But my question would be, I think leading up to this conference, there was a suggestion that the election of the officials would be staggered in order to try and eliminate the issue of slates. But we then gather that the NEC has decided to continue as per norm. So what was the thinking to then return to what we used to? Are you no longer valuing now that kind of unity we're trying to create by perhaps making sure that whoever gets elected does not necessarily go with their slate, but you get perhaps the best of their cadres?
Please pass it to Stephen Grotes right at the back. Are you covered?
SG.
This conference is going to run smoothly. If you don't have any question, SG.
SG.
Now, I hand over to you, the real SG.
I'm calling on the very important SG, Stephen Grotes. That is the SG. He has no questions because he wrote a long article on the Maverick yesterday. So he expressed his views on every aspect of the conference and the outgoing SG. Fine, welcome that, Stephen. Who was asking about the unity nomination? Who's that?
From Witness.
You see, the Witness, yes, Natal. Yeah, it's quite clear that you're very far from Johannesburg.
I think you arrived this morning.
Did you arrive this morning?
Yes.
There you are. That's why you're asking the same question that has been answered over and over. That's the disadvantage of being in the outskirts of the country. There's no body called unity, okay? We've repeated that over and over. And there will be no body called unity on the ballot paper of the ANC. Because if you are nominated, you have a branch, you have a membership number, you have not less than 10 years being a member of the ANC, and then we never had this member called Unity for the last 10 years. So there's no such a nomination called Unity, okay? And what will happen to that? We don't know what will happen to a non-existent nomination. Ayiko. Into unit, ayiko. So, it's a nomination which has names of human beings who are members of the ANC and leaders of the ANC. So there's no unit. Okay? It's a bad day for the ANC. I don't know what a bad day is for the ANC. Every day is a good day for the ANC. And said.
Court rulings in the morning ruling against you.
Come again?
2 court rulings.
I'm Nick.
I'm just saying, SG, just court ruling. I mean, 2 court rulings in a day ruling against you. You don't see anything.
You see, the problem here as journalists is that you always spin things to suit you. If we're defying that judgment, what would you say? Would you say it's a good day? We say judicial doesn't run the ANC. Now, members have gone to the court, they have the right, they exercise it, we say we're accepting it, we respect it. Should that be bad? Is it bad that there's a judiciary that can actually protect members if they feel aggrieved? I don't know how bad is that. Maybe you'll have to educate me how bad that is. That's why I'm saying we'll accept that judgment. For example, we'll nullify that region and rerun it. That's it. If there is a PEC nullified, we're giving you the impact. The impact is 27. Any PEC members who are allocated seats. If it is bad, it's bad that 27 of our PEC members will not be in conference. Then that is bad. Credentials will not be impacted by the judgments because credentials, let me give you an example. If that judgment nullifies a regional conference, it has no impact on the credentials because regions have no voting rights in the conference. They have been given 2 seats of observers. That's all. And that doesn't impact on the actual credentials of conference, which determines whether the conference can go or not go. Those are non-voting delegates from regions. So the judgment against a region doesn't impact on the credentials. The 300 delegates badging the conference, so say Mail and Guardian, I'm sure they have not come for a briefing on the security setup here. There will be no delegate who badges here. It's just not going to happen. Election process. Actually, to come to this point, went through 2 phases. First of all, we said, why don't we elect these officials one by one? We came back and said, but if you are nominated a president, you will not want to contest, you will want perhaps to contest the position of deputy president. But I'm not expecting any who contested a president to want to contest a deputy, a secretary general, a chairperson, and a treasurer general. And we said, no, this is stretching things too far. And then we said, let's have 2 sets of elections. President, chairperson, secretary, and treasurer general. All of those, 1. Then we come to the election of deputies. But a long discussion in the NEC yesterday was saying, it's actually trying to stretch things too far. Let's go to the election as normal. If you accept nomination for whatever position, you'll contest that position. If you fall, you'll go to the NEC. That's it.
Thank you, SG. That brings to an end the presser this morning. Thank you very much.